Hi everybody, thanks so much for being here. Welcome to your personal zodiac reading for the second half of July. Today I'm going to be using a couple different oracle decks and my tarot deck in order to connect with what should your focus be for the second half of July. And then make sure that you are also jumping to the end of the video where I use my beautiful green witch deck to provide a little additional one card bonus reading for each sign. You can use this timestamps below to jump straight to your reading, or you can watch through all of them as there's a lot of wisdom sitting in each reading itself. You can check out your sun, your moon, and your rising sign. And I also encourage you to check out the readings for each, for the people that are in your world. You may have people who are struggling with something you may not know about, and this could enlighten you in that way and show how you can provide a bit of support. So thanks for being here, everyone, and enjoy your readings. All right, hello Aries. Welcome to your mid-July reading. Today we are asking a simple question of what should your focus be and what is blocking you from focusing on it. And today we're going to do a simple cross. So what should your focus be? And what is blocking you? What is the blocking energy? All right. So we have the Fool and we have the Six of Swords. All right, Aries, so what we see here for the question of what should our focus be, we have the Fool reversed. Now, the Fool is the beginning of the tarot, right? We have this, it's the beginning of a journey. It signals the start of something new. And it also signals the innocence of a child. It symbolizes optimism, moving forward, really ambitiously and excited about what the future holds. There's a lot of optimism here. But when we have the Fool reversed, there is carelessness at play. So maybe the innocence can lead to arrogance. And so it seems like the focus here is as you are starting something new, the challenge that you are experiencing is you may be a little too bold right now in this new experience that you're having. And this is further confirmed. These cards are giving me a hard time today. This is further confirmed with, we have the Six of Swords reversed. And when the Six of Swords signifies the end of a cycle and that everything is over, it is time to start anew, we can move on. And when we have the Six of Swords reversed, we see procrastination, a delay, maybe denial. And so what I'm seeing here as the block of you being able to experience this new beginning is maybe you are struggling to let go of the part of your life that you just finished. Maybe you're struggling to move on. And let's get a clarifying card on what your focus, what your action around this should be. How do you let go of this stage of life that you've just completed and embark on the Fool's journey with the positive side of optimism without falling into arrogance? It seems like there's a little more information needed here. We have the Moon. Phases, cycles, and intuition is what the Moon tells us. The Moon reminds us that everything that has come before will come again. The Moon reminds us of the natural cycles of our world. And so in order to move through this energy, you need to embrace this understanding that change is inevitable. These cycles that you're experiencing, the whole cycle of the tarot's story, is something that we repeat and we experience again and again. Yes, it is time to move on and let go of this part of your life that you have finished and stop reminiscing. Not necessarily stop reminiscing. Well, we can always reminisce on the good times, but don't hold on to it too tightly. Don't hold on to it to the point that you're not able to experience this new, fresh part of your world with a fresh set of eyes, with optimism. Let me see, what other information do you need to know about what is coming in this new stage? What is coming in this new stage for you that you need to know? We have the cow reversed. So it seems like you may be worried that you won't be able to ask for help. You may be worried that you may not receive, you may not be taken care of, you may not receive abundance, or there's worry here that it's going to be hard. And it does seem like there will be parts of it that will be hard, but the cow signifies, whether it's reversed or it's upright, the cow signifies that you are safe, you are able to ask for help, you will receive nourishment and abundance, you will be well cared for. And so it's clear that in this new stage where you feel like brand new, right? There's a whole bunch of mystery sitting for you in this stage of life. It's going to be okay. You can let go of the worry and the anticipation and everything you're holding on to from everything you just moved on from. Let go of that. You need to let it go in order to move forward, and don't allow the arrogance of the fool to be your dominant trait right now. Do not allow that arrogance to take over. All right? It's clear that this is a cycle. This is going to continue, that you will continue to come in and out of these ends, endings, and beginnings, and you just need to get used to that change. Maybe part of the message and the lesson here, Aries, is that this change is something that's going to continue to come and is a part of your world, and fighting it isn't going to get you anywhere. There's an energy of submission within this that is can be hard to embrace, but brings you so much freedom. It really does, because there's positivity, there's community, there's safety waiting for you within this new era of your life. You just need to stop fighting it and don't go into it thinking you know everything. There's a lot to learn. All right, Aries, I hope this finds you well. Don't forget to skip to the end of the reading where you have a quick bonus card that'll help you out for the next few weeks as we finish up July. Hello, Taurus. Welcome to your mid-July reading as we take a look at what is the focus that you need to be having as we look at the following few weeks in this July. All right, we have the Magician reversed, and we have, for our blocking energy that is stopping us from embracing this focus, we have the Queen of Wands reversed. So Taurus, for our focus in the next few weeks, we have the Magician reversed. Now, the Magician is all about planning, is all about setting intentions, manifestations. And when the Magician is reversed, it actually shows a lack of care. It can signify a lack of planning, maybe some arrogance, a bit of carelessness. And so when we see the Magician reversed, it's inviting you to take a look at, have you been a little too careless? Are there things that maybe are slipping your attention that you need to be focused on? And when we see the Queen of Wands as the block that is stopping you from truly embracing and focusing on this Magician reverse energy, we have the Queen of Wands, which was also reversed. A lot of reversed energy going on here, you guys. The Queen of Wands is she operates outside of what is considered normal. She's very creative. She trusts her intuition. And when you see the Queen of Wands reversed, it's the negative side of being too bold. Maybe you're negatively impacting the people around you. It can be a sign of carelessness. So it seems like you may have just, if really the intuitive reading that I'm getting here is, you may have just been putting your head down a bit too much and not recognizing the impact that you're having on the people around you and on your world at large. It seems like the focus that you need to have is slowing down and allowing your intuition to truly guide you, because it feels like you're maybe a bit cut off from your intuition here. And I want to take a second and look at what are the actions that you need to take in order to truly embrace this energy, Taurus. Preserve. Security, forethought, and thrift. Yeah, you need to slow down. Preserving is all about planning ahead. For the energy of the Preserve card is being very careful and cautious with your actions, with the energy stores that you have. It's being resourceful. There's a lot of wisdom that sits within the energy of preserving. And let's see as well what sits for you within this shift. What is waiting for you within this shift as you slow down and focus. We have the Raven reversed. And so it seems like you may be feeling like you're disconnected from the wonderful intuitive side of the Queen of Wands. The Raven is very similar to that Queen of Wands energy. It's very much focused on synchronicity, focusing on magic, focusing on having that connection to your consciousness and to the way the energy interacts with each other. There's wonderful, this disconnect that you're feeling shows us that you really are just putting your head down and, you know, making sure that you're getting work done. It feels like you haven't had that room to breathe. But the Raven tells us that this is somewhat an illusion. The Raven tells us that when the Raven is in reverse, we can put that up correctly. When the Raven is in reverse, it tells us that there is somewhat of an illusion here. It's in your mind that you actually are capable of slowing down, taking that breath, and making sure that you are embracing both the wonderful power of your intuition that sits within the Queen of Wands and the manifestation that sits within the Magician. This is an invitation for you to reflect. It's an invitation for you to slow down and recognize that there's a few things that you are being a bit careless with that you're missing that focus. They are missing your attention. It could be people in your world. It could be tasks that you've been putting off. Don't put these things off anymore. You need to make sure you're planning for the future, and you need to tap into this intuitive energy because it holds so much potential and safety for you. All right, Taurus, I hope this resonates, and don't forget to jump to the end of the video where we have our bonus card for the second half of July. Hello, Gemini. Welcome to your reading for the second half of July. Today we're asking the question, what does your focus need to be? What should you be paying attention to in the following weeks? Let's see. We have... beautiful. The Nine of Pentacles reversed for your focused card. And what is blocking you from focusing on this? And we have the Seven of Cups reversed. Okay, Gemini. So for our focus being the Nine of Pentacles, this is a sense of materialism when the Nine of Pentacles is reversed. She signifies that you may be too focused on the material world, on luxury. You may be too tempted by these things around you. It can signal overindulgence, and you may need to take a step back. And it seems like the focus here is to reevaluate your means and reevaluate your finances. It really feels like this is actually, intuitively, this feels very tied to your finances. And when we take a look at the block that is stopping you from truly seeing your situation for the reality that you're in, we have the Seven of Cups reversed. And so the Seven of Cups, when it is reversed, actually shows a great deal of overwhelm. It shows that there is, you may be feeling like you're struggling to focus. It seems like you may be, just look at the image on this card and all of the options sitting in front of you. When it's reversed, that is very overwhelming. The decisions that you are faced with is extremely hard to navigate. It feels like you are struggling with the decisions that you have in front of you. And so let me take a look at the actions that you can take in order to navigate the decisions you have coming up and breathe a little more easily. Oh, beautiful. We have chamomile. Goodness. And I'm going to throw you a second card from this deck, Gemini. Let me see. Walking staff. All right. Oh, wonderful. Okay, so when we have chamomile is calming. Chamomile is very gentle. It's an invitation to relax and to sleep and to heal. There is peace that sits within the energy of chamomile. And this paired with the energy of the walking staff is encouragement to keep going. The walking staff shows incredible support, shows that you're not alone, and it signals that you are fully capable of making it through this challenge, and it's a beautiful motivator to keep going, Gemini. And so with these challenges that you're facing, with the struggle that you're having right now, where it seems like and this could be your financial situation, this could also be maybe tied to your career or tied to your home. It's the focus of the Nine of Pentacles is a very material focus. And so whatever's coming to mind right now as whenever I'm talking about this, that's what this is signifying for you. And the Nine of Pentacles as the focus here, just to go back to our anchor for a moment, she shows us when she's reversed that you may be too comfortable when in reality your situation is not as comfortable as it seems, right? You're overindulging. You are indulging in luxury that you may not truly have access to. In a very real way, this can look on maybe taking on too much debt in a situation when this is not a good time for you to do that. It can look like getting a bonus and spending it too quickly rather than being a bit more, rather than thinking further ahead and setting it aside, right? It can be tied to your home, and maybe you are overwhelming the tasks, overwhelming the responsibilities you're taking on, when in the moment right now you're feeling fully capable and not realizing that in a week your world could look really different and you may not be fully capable of taking on all these responsibilities that you promised, right? So there's so many ways that we can overindulge, and the reason that you are, I guess, stopping yourself from recognizing that you're overindulging is because you're overwhelmed, right? That's what we see with the Seven of Cups again. You're overwhelmed in this situation. You're not thinking clearly. And so you need to take a step back, have a cup of chamomile tea. You don't need to take these cards literally, but it really is very powerful if you're able to give yourself that moment of pause, give yourself that ability to breathe and truly slow down, because you can keep going. You're fully capable of continuing, and this is very much encouraging you that it's all going to be okay. This is a card of safety. It's all going to be okay. You just need to slow down a little bit and look at your situation with really open eyes. Things are shifting. Things are going to continue to change in the next few weeks, and you need to make sure that you're being honest with yourself about your circumstances and about what you can handle, both with time or finances or within your family, right? There's so many ways that this can apply to you. Be honest with yourself about what you can take on and how to handle this smartly, because the shifts that are coming up for you, these changes that are approaching, are going to need you to be level-headed. Let's do one more for you guys. It's going to need you to be level-headed, and you're going to need to be able to ask for help. The horse reverse tells us that you're currently doing a lot of this on your own. You are not asking for help right now, and it's important that you do ask for help. You are not meant to be doing this on your own. You need the support that the walking staff tells you, right? You need to be doing this within your community, with your partner, with your family. You need to be able to ask for help. And maybe you're overindulging in a sense, in a way where you'd be embarrassed to be honest with the people in your world about how you're overindulging. And that's an important way to reflect, right? If that's the level that you need to take a look at this situation to be able to truly reflect with the actions you've had, then, and if that overwhelms you, slow down, take a step back, and then move forward and with open eyes, with honesty, and take a look at the situation that you've put yourself in. Because things are changing. It won't be like this forever. But you need to incorporate some honesty into the situation. All right, Gemini. I hope this meets you in a healthy, happy space. I believe in you as you move forward with this. Be kind to yourself. And go ahead and jump to the end of the video where you will see your bonus card for the next few weeks of July. Hello, Cancer. Welcome to your reading for the second half of July. Today we're asking the question, what does your focus need to be for the next few weeks? we have the Fool. And what is blocking you from embracing this focus? We have the Three of Cups reversed. So Cancer, when we see the Fool as our focus, the Fool is the beginning of the major arcana in the tarot. It is the beginning of the story. It's the beginning of the cycle of life. It signals the innocence of a child. It signals the new beginnings and optimism. And so it seems like the focus that you should be having in the next few weeks is embracing this change, embracing these new beginnings that are coming into your world without worrying too heavily about how things are going to work out. And allow yourself just to sit in that innocent excitement about what's coming next. And so the block that is stopping you from truly embracing the beautiful energy of the Fool is we have the Three of Cups reversed. And so when the Three of Cups is reversed, it shows that you may be feeling a bit disconnected. You may feel like you don't have the beautiful community that the Three of Cups so often signals. And so it seems like you may be stopping yourself from truly being optimistic or excited about this new change that's coming up or this new beginning that you're experiencing because you feel like you're working on your own. You may feel like you're existing in a solitary space. And so let me see what the action is that can help you engage with your community or feel like you can lean on some people. Let me see, what action can you take? We have the Carnelian. Energy, leadership, and creativity. I'm going to throw a second card for you for your action, Cancer. We have Lavender. Tranquility, kindness, and self-care. And I don't read these cards reversed. These are always upright. And so it's Cancer, it seems like you need to be taking the first steps in order to create that community around you or engage with the community that already exists around you. This Carnelian signals that you are capable of taking those first steps and leading. It also shows that you are able to get creative right now in the way that you engage with the people around you. You are capable of truly having fun with it. This really makes me think back to the beautiful, innocent energy of the Fool. The way that you connect with your community is by embracing the energy of the Fool, getting creative, and stepping into this community that it does feel like, and I am reading intuitively at this point, it does feel like this community already exists around you. You're not creating something out of nothing. You are just engaging with the community that already is there. We also see that with Lavender. With this, there's tranquility, kindness, self-care. This is both an invitation for you to take care of yourself and be kind to yourself and to be kind to the people around you. That in looking at how you connect with the people around you with the energy of Lavender, there's peace there. Think about, there's so many healing qualities to Lavender and peaceful, calming qualities to Lavender that it's such a powerful herb when you truly embrace the magic that sits within Lavender. And so the Carnelian, Lavender, and the Fool combined just tells you, go do it, have fun with it, don't overthink it, engage with your community. If you're waiting to ask somebody out and you've been totally nervous about it, you just got to go and come up with a really fun date that you yourself will enjoy, and hopefully they will too. And just play. The invitation here for you, Cancer, is to play in the coming weeks. It is such a wonderful message. Play. And if your birthdays are coming up, Cancer, have fun with it, because I know a lot of you may not have had your birthday yet, so go have some fun. That's really what this seems like. Yeah, and it also does feel romantic. The Grail Knight signals it's a card of romance. When in reverse, it seems like you may not be fully embracing that romantic energy right now. And so if you feel disconnected from your partner, or if you're single, then this shows us that you need to embrace the energy of the Fool, Carnelian, Lavender in your romantic approach, whether that's with a partnership that currently exists or with somebody that you've had a crush on, you've been pursuing, you want to ask out, or just with someone, maybe you don't have your sights set on anyone right now. Now's your time to have fun. Go out and see who you meet. It does seem like this is a really positive, exciting time for new beginnings within relationships. So again, whether you're single or you're in a relationship, this is a wonderful, if you need to refresh some things in your relationship, if you need to maybe start over in some ways, now's the time to do it. And do it with fun. Do it with peace. Do it with kindness. Do it to take that leadership role and get creative. All right, Cancer, I hope this finds you well. Don't forget to jump to the end of the video where you can get your bonus card for the next 2 weeks or so of July. Hello, Leo. Welcome to your reading for the second half of July. Thank you for being here. And today we're asking the question, what does your focus need to be? And we have the Ten of Swords reversed. What is blocking you from embracing this focus? And we have the Seven of Wands reversed. So, Leo, for our question of what should our focus be, the Ten of Swords reversed. Now, the Ten of Swords signals that there has been a setback, and you may be feeling a bit defeated. But when it's reversed, it shows us that we have reason for hope. And so if you are feeling like you don't have that optimism right now, you don't have that hope, then this is the invitation for you to really lean into that hope and shifting your perspective. And so the block, when we ask what is blocking us from embracing this hope, we have the Seven of Wands reversed. There's a lot of reversed energy all of these readings, you guys. It feels like everyone's feeling a little defeated, a little overwhelmed. And so with the Seven of Wands reversed, this actually shows that there's insecurity here. Maybe you're feeling that you've been judged or that you aren't in a safe space. It seems like you may be feeling like you aren't capable. And that, what we see here when paired with the invitation to focus on your hope and your optimism, it seems like that is a bit of an illusion. It seems like that may be in your mind. The judgment that you're experiencing seems like, what I'm getting intuitively is it doesn't feel like you are actually being that judged. You may be feeling judged or feeling in a safe space, but I wonder how much of that is actually going on internally. And so I want to take a look. What is our invitation here? What's our action as you can navigate this challenge here and navigate these insecurities? We have buds, new beginnings, expansions. I'm going to throw a second card. And time, presence, and self-awareness. There you go. So with buds are the first signal that the seeds that you've planted are coming to fruition. It really is a signal of new beginnings and expansion. I love the description here because this tells me that though you may be feeling defeated, though you may be feeling like you are being judged or you are feeling insecure right now, the work that you've put in is providing results. It is showing you results. And we see that this is confirming the intuitive reading I had. Time is presence and self-awareness, but time is an invitation for you to reflect on mind, body, and spirit. How much are you internalizing that you may not need to be? When you use time in a tea or are intentionally using the magical properties of time, you are asking for mental clarity. And so we see here that these insecurities that you have are maybe running really deep and may not be the reality that you were existing within right now. It really feels like the results that you're starting to see are already showing up around you, and you may be so focused on experiencing this defeat that you've just experienced, right? You may be so stuck in that defeat and not embracing the hope and the optimism and looking around you and seeing that you are actually, the buds of the seeds that you have planted are popping up around you. The results of the work that you've put in is showing up. And so what I'm getting for you, Leo, here is you just kind of need to open your eyes. take a look around and see the reality of your situation right now without getting too stuck in the negative spirals, without getting too stuck in your head, and to let go of that fear. Because yes, the Ten of Swords shows us there has been defeat. There has been something where you have failed. And I can sense that you're worried that it's going to repeat. It's going to happen again. But you are up to the challenge. You are already providing results, even if you are not aware of that. And there is joy waiting for you. We got fear reversed at first. Well, there is joy waiting for you. This fear is an illusion. This is all in your head. Not to make you worry about being crazy or anything. Our brains are so powerful. Our consciousness is so powerful. We can convince ourselves of so much. And it seems like you may be allowing past trauma to influence your fears here, and that your current reality isn't as bad as it was in the past, or your fear of the past repeating itself is taking over. There's so many ways that our minds can stop us from truly seeing that you are bringing incredible results. You already are. These new beginnings are already happening. So take a step back, acknowledge that it's almost like you just need to look around you with fresh eyes and realize that there's joy waiting for you here, and there's hope. You are allowed to have hope. Leo, if you take anything from this, take that you are allowed to be hopeful. You are allowed to be optimistic. You are allowed to be joyful. You can release this fear. It no longer serves you. All right, Leo, I hope that resonates. Go ahead and jump to the end of the video where you will see your bonus card for the next few weeks of July. Hello, Virgo. Welcome to your reading for the second half of July. Today we're asking the question, what should your focus be? We have the Knight of Cups reversed. And what is blocking you from embracing this focus? We have the Death reversed. All right. So, Virgo, with the Knight of Cups reversed, this is a card of emotion, right? It's a cup. When the Knight of Cups is reversed, it's a boastful energy. Your ego may be at play here. This focus for the next few weeks is actually inviting you to take a look at your ego, to take a look at your emotional state. Maybe there's been disappointment within your romantic connections. Maybe you've been disappointed in how you yourself have emotionally handled challenging situations. Maybe you've been a bit too, confident or cocky, right? Maybe you've had those, it feels like you're already in that self-reflection. And this just needs to continue. That self-reflection, that awareness needs to continue in the next following weeks. There's things for you to become aware of here. It seems like the block that is stopping you when we have Death reversed. Death is a signal of change, but when Death is reversed, it's a resistance to change. It's feeling stagnant. It's feeling stuck. So I wonder if we look at your resistance and feeling stuck within this emotional state that you're in, there may have been disappointment, as the Knight of Cups reversed tells us. There may have been disappointment in a relationship, and you may feel stuck now. You may feel like you can't see a way out. And what is clear here is change is needed. You need to invite that change. And so let's see. And it's like you need to shake things up, Virgo. You need to say, okay, how can we invite change into our world and get out of this stuck feeling, because you need that transformation. See, how can we bring that change? Yeah, I love these cards. We have the Butterfly. Just all about transformation. Okay, what's our next action card for Virgo? The Sickle. Focus, regrowth, and letting go. Goodness, Virgo. Okay, this is so synchronistic. I love this. All right, so the butterfly is a wonderful signal. It's a symbol of change, but it also embraces the duality of beauty. In order to get to the beautiful state of the butterfly often represents beauty, it must go through a very uncomfortable change. It has to go through the whole process of the caterpillar dissolving entirely in order to shift into the beautiful form of the butterfly. It can be seen as quite uncomfortable. And so this discomfort that you're experiencing, this resistance to change, is very much represented in the butterfly here as well. And you can't fear that discomfort. You can't fear the kind of the gross part of that change, right? It can't all be beautiful. And when we see it paired with the sickle is about regrowth. The sickle is often actually symbolized with death. And so these itself, they're paired together so beautifully well. And so as you see that you have death reversed here, resisting the change, resisting the opportunity for regrowth. The sickle reminds us that when you cut back some of the plant there, you're allowing new growth to occur. You're allowing the resources that exist within the plant to come forward and refocus towards what new growth needs to happen. But in order for that to happen, the sickle needs to come through and you need to let go of what's no longer serving you. And so what it seems like is in this romantic connection, because I'm just running with that connection straight to the Knight of Cups here. It feels very tied to your closest relationships or your relationship with love. If you are single and you feel like you're stuck in a cycle right now and you can't find that connection, maybe this is about your relationship to love and the way you engage with love, right? It seems like you've been stuck in this pattern and you need to let go in order to embrace the beautiful change that is waiting for you. You cannot resist this. It's going to happen. And if you continue to resist this change, it's just going to be so sticky and so frustrating, Virgo. So let's take a look at what other information can we know about this change and what's on the other side of this change. We have birth, rebirth, reversed. Again, you're resisting this change. Goodness. What else do we have here? We have wealth reversed. It seems like you may be in denial or you're struggling to accept the fact that there is opportunity and beauty waiting for you on the other side of this change. And again, the change that we're talking about here, it is tied to your emotions. It's tied to your romantic connections, as we see with the Knight of Cups. And you need to let go of that ego. When the Knight of Cups is reversed, it ties to egotism. It ties to being a bit too boastful, a bit too cocky. You need to realize that in order to truly connect within love, you got to let that go. You cannot allow your person to be in relationship with your ego. You got to let that go. And there is so much growth and opportunity waiting for you within this change. We have 4 cards here that are talking about resisting change. It's incredible. This is wonderful. And I know you may be saying, well, gosh, this sounds hard. But there's so much beauty waiting here for you. And clearly you are supposed to receive this message right now, Virgo, that there is beautiful change waiting for you. Stop fighting it. It's going to be okay. Okay? I promise it's going to be fine. You're not alone in this. Change is an inevitable part of life. You can't keep holding too tightly to it, okay? You gotta let go, embrace it. It's going to be okay. Okay, Virgo, I hope this finds you well. Go ahead and jump to the end of the video so that you can get your bonus card for the next few weeks of July. Hello, Libra. Welcome to your reading for the second half of July. Let me see, what is the focus for you? We have the Chariot reversed. And what's blocking you from this Chariot energy? The Queen of Swords. All right. Okay, Libra. So it looks like, with your focus with Chariot reversed, we're seeing that you may be experiencing a bit of loss of control. And Libra, we know that you don't do well with loss of control. I'm sorry, hun, but it seems like with this loss of control, and maybe this feeling of defeat that you're experiencing when we have the Chariot reversed, it feels like you just need to focus in on that a little bit, because it seemed the the loss of control that you're experiencing doesn't need to be as bad as it feels right now, okay? And so when we look at the Queen of Swords, it's what's blocking you from focusing in on the Chariot reversed. The Queen of Swords is so focused about organization. She's all about control. I mean, just look at her. She's all about control. She's about order. She's about power, right? She is, and it seems like you may be clinging to the control that you have, the last bit of control that you have, to make up for this feeling of lack of control. It seems like you may be really, and it's stopping you from truly realizing the opportunity that's sitting here within this change. Because this feeling of defeat that you're feeling right now, it doesn't have to be this hard, is what's coming through for me intuitively. It doesn't have to be this challenging. And by holding on and clinging on to as much control as you possibly can, you are stopping yourself from just accepting and embracing the reality that exists around you and the beauty that is there. And so let's take a look at a few action cards around what is going to help you through this loss of control if you are going to release some of the bit of control that you have. And I know that is probably scary, Libra. See, we have so, and I don't read these cards reversed. Planning, setting intentions, and optimism. And the watering can. Asking for help and sharing burdens. So these two cards actually balance each other quite well. So invites you to set things in motion, to take action, and to allow the natural events that are happening to go as they need to, right? Sowing is the act of scattering seeds and allowing them to naturally merge with the soil so that they can grow. And so it is all about setting intentions. This is a wonderful time to shift into manifesting, to shift into affirmations. There is power within your intentions, and that is quite clear, Libra. And the balance that we have with sow and the watering can is when you need to, signifies that you may need to have some external sources come in to help you out, right? The watering can is the symbol of the natural occurrence of things, of how nature naturally grows fruits and vegetables and, you know, all these beautiful plants that exist around us, needs human input in order to truly thrive. The natural occurrence of things just needs a little bit of help. So this is both optimism within things will work out. I'm going to set things in motion and allow things to naturally happen as they need to. But you're not supposed to do this alone. You can ask for help. You can bring in external wisdom. Ask for some advice. Ask for some... There's some tips that you need. There's a shoulder that you need to lean on. You need to share these burdens. So as you're feeling defeated right now and trying to cling to the last bit of control that you have, your action to shift away from this is to shift into manifesting, look at new beginnings, look at what you can set in motion now to start. This is an action card. And invite other people to come in and help you. And don't do this alone. Share this burden. Even if it's just confiding in someone that this is something that you're struggling with right now. And so now, Libra, I want to take a look and see what's waiting for you through this change. What will this bring? The balance and the partnership with these two. What will it bring for you? We have the Water Fairy reversed. Water Fairy is all about emotions, all about settling into your feelings, and the Goblin. All right, so it seems like this is going to allow you to actually recognize that you may have been clinging so hard to this control and this structure and this order that you've neglected some of your emotions. The Water Fairy, when she's upright, she is a truly empowered connection to her feelings. And when she's reversed, it seems like you've been neglecting your feelings in a sense. You've not felt connected to your emotions. You've not allowed your feelings and your emotions to guide you. The Goblin brings our focus to our ego. It seems like you may be a huge what this balance is going to bring you towards is recognizing that it seems like a big part of your identity is connected to this intense connection to control. That your ego sits here. And in order to let go of that control, you need to kind of release your ego a little bit. You need to recognize your ego for exactly what it is. And have an honest conversation with yourself where you're saying, wow, my ego is flaring up right now. Wow, I feel like I'm a bit out of control in this emotional reaction. And the invitation here is to bring that self-awareness into this process. Don't bring judgment into this process. And allow yourself to shift into I want you to see this as your motivator. Being grounded within your feelings and emotions is your goal here, because that's where your manifestations are going to truly thrive. That's where you're really going to be able to ask for help without it feeling like it's going to tank you, right? So you're not supposed to do this alone, Libra. You really are not. All right, Libra, I hope this finds you in a good space. Be kind to yourself through this process. Thank you so much for being here. And don't forget to jump to the end of the video where you will get your bonus card for the next few weeks of July. Hello, Scorpio. Thank you for being here today. Welcome to your reading for the second half of July. Let's take a look at your focus. What does your focus need to be? Oh, beautiful. We have the Ten of Cups. What's blocking you from embracing the energy of the Ten of Cups? We have the Knight of Cups reversed. All right. So Scorpio, with your focus being the Ten of Cups, this is a wonderful focus to have. The Ten of Cups is about fulfillment. It's about achievement. You've achieved a lot. It seems like you're in a wonderful space. It seems like you really are surrounded by love and positivity. But with the Knight of Cups reversed as your block that is stopping you from just falling into this beautiful loving energy that is surrounding you, to this beautiful sense of achievement, the Knight of Cups reversed is actually a symbol of disappointment and egotism and being a bit boastful. And I wonder if there are some things that you have. It feels like there may be some events that have happened recently, or there may be some actions that you've taken where you were acting emotionally and you wish you'd slowed down a little bit and thought it out a bit more before acting from an emotional space. That is very much the energy of the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is a lover. Just jump straight into these emotions without really thinking them through. There's a big lesson there. So it seems like you may have been leading with that energy a little bit too much. And even though you still have this beautiful sense of accomplishment and this beautiful achievement that is surrounding you right now, you're not allowing yourself to really fall into that love and celebrate, because you may be feeling a bit guilty here. And so I want to look at how do you really need to feel guilty about the actions that you took? Can you let this go? That's the question I want to ask. Can you let this go? We have Earth, peace, grounding. Yes, you can let this go. Let's see. How do you move past this? The sickle. Okay. So what we see here with the Earth is the Earth actually is an invitation for reflection. You may be disconnected from your grounding right now, right? You may feel truly removed from the beautiful energy of the Ten of Cups. You may really be struggling to engage with that because you feel so, you just don't feel grounded. And so it seems like kind of let go of the worry that you have here, right? And just connect with the people around you. Realize that there's so much peace existing around you. You can give yourself permission to come back to center in a sense. You feel really off center with this energy, and you need to pair that beautiful emotional energy that you do thrive within, Scorpio. You are a water sign, right? This is very much up your alley. You thrive here within your emotions. You need to balance that with some of the grounding that sits here, with the grounding energy that sits within the Ten of Cups. And with the invitation of how you do that is you gotta let go. The sickle is a symbol of regrowth. It's a signal of an end of a cycle. The sickle is very tied to death, right? It's often the symbol that is with death. The sickle cuts away what no longer serves us and allows the energy to be refocused towards regrowth. And so the focus that you need to have for regrowth is you got to let go of that. You got to let go of this energy here, of that disappointment. You got to let go of worrying. It feels like so much worry. Let go of that worry and truly find that balance here between the peace and the grounding that sits within Earth's energy and the wonderful emotional beauty that sits within the Ten of Cups. Let me see. What other information do you need in order to truly embrace that Ten of Cups feeling? Because it's such a beautiful card to have as your focus. But I feel you resisting it, Scorpio. I do. Yeah, you feel very protective. We got protection in reverse. You feel very protective of maybe this state that you were in here. And it's okay. It's okay to feel a little vulnerable. It's okay to say you made mistakes. When you have the protection in reverse, it shows that you're clinging too tightly. You got to let go. Like, you can't protect everything, and that has to be okay. And we see that also. We have the Grail Knight reversed, which is a symbol of your closest romantic connections. This does feel tied to your family or your closest friendships. If you're worried that you disappointed them, it's clear that you didn't, because you're all existing here right now. If you're worried that you disappointed them, you have not. Yeah, let that go. Let it go. That's what the sickle tells us to do. Let it go. You gotta release some of that tight, clenched protection right there and just fall into this beautiful connection and the beauty that sits within the Ten of Cups energy. There's so much community and peace waiting for you there, and grounding energy there, where you can come together with your closest partnerships. But you're kind of, because you're so focused and worried about the shame that sits here and how you acted, it feels like you're not allowing yourself to truly embrace the beauty of your romantic connections, your closest friendships. So allow yourself to engage with these people. It's going to be okay, Scorpio. Just breathe, okay, hun? You got this. All right. Jump to the end of the video for your bonus reading for the next few weeks of July. And thank you for being here. And I hope this meets you in a good space, Scorpio. Enjoy the rest of your day. Hello, Sagittarius. Thank you for being here today. We are jumping into your reading for the second half of July. We're asking the question, what should your focus be today? And we have the Knight of Pentacles reversed. What is blocking us from embracing this energy? The Hanged Man. All right. All right, Sagittarius. I had to go back and check my footage because I always second guess this, but I don't place the card exactly how it came up when I'm doing a throw like the cross. And then when it comes to the Hanged Man, I could not visually remember if I threw it up reversed or not, because this is the upright position and that's reversed. I did throw it reversed. I'm glad I checked that because that changes the whole the whole reading here. All right, so Sagittarius, for your focus for the next few weeks of July, we have the Knight of Pentacles reversed. And so the Knight of Pentacles is an invitation to make sure you are being thoughtful. Make sure you are bringing care and attention into what you're doing. Because when the Knight of Pentacles is reversed, it actually is a symbol of laziness, of complacency. Maybe you've been just kind of okay with how things are going, and there are things that you're able to do in order to improve your situation or improve what's going on, and you're just choosing not to. It's okay to be lazy every once in a while, but the invitation that you have is to shift out of that right now. And we see that the block that may be keeping you in this state is the Hanged Man reversed. And so the Hanged Man is a symbol of inaction. The Hanged Man is a symbol of reflection. And so when we see the Hanged Man reversed, we are actually seeing an invitation for you to kind of move past indecision, right? Because the Hanged Man reverse shows us that you're delaying, right? You're delaying taking action. This is not a peaceful space of reflection where inaction is positive, or where inaction is also productive. The Hanged Man reverse shows us that you may be missing an opportunity. And so what's blocking you from shifting into the positive side of the Knight of Pentacles and putting thoughtfulness into your actions is you are sitting in inaction too much. This is everything here, and I realize I'm just moving these cards all over the place. This all is just an invitation for you to take action. And let's get some clarification here for you, Sagittarius. How are you supposed to take action? How should you move forward? We're asking how. How should you change this? How should you take action? We have a cup of tea. Have some patience. All right. We also have the pine tree, which is about longevity. All right. So Sagittarius, what the cup of tea invites us to think is, don't let this time of solitude go to waste. Don't let this time of inaction go to waste. The cup of tea is actually making sure that you are taking that moment to embrace the slowness and reassess. Make sure you are taking stock of the situation around you, putting thought into the situation before you shift into action. You are not meant to just blindly go forward and bring this change. You have to do this with intention and with patience, because when you shift into action, things are not all going to shift right away. This is going to take some time. And we see this also with the pine tree. The pine tree is a reminder that there may be something that you have given up on that needs your attention. This comes straight back to the Knight of Pentacles reversed. This is a symbol of reevaluating, taking a look at what has been in your life for a long time that you may be saying, maybe I'm done with, maybe I don't want to do that anymore. This is an invitation to maybe think again. Maybe it's too soon to move on. Maybe that yearning you have for change is denying something that truly needs your focus and attention with that lazy energy of the Knight of Pentacles reversed, right? It is not time to move on. It is time to shift into action and refocus on what is already existing in your life, because there's longevity here, and it's time. Just take a look here. It's time to persevere. It is time to persevere, to keep going. This is a big invitation for you to shift into action. Shift out of that lazy energy of just being complacent. Let me see what waits for you once you take this action. Birth, rebirth, reversed. There's that shit. We're going to go straight into this cycle again, and you have to stop resisting it. What else is waiting for you? Once you shift into action and you accept that this cycle is going to keep happening, and you reflect and then go into action and revisit the important things in your world that you may have stepped back from, that have been in your life for a long time, so much strength is waiting for you. Power, strength, resilience, leadership. Those are all qualities that sit within the dragon. Okay, Sagittarius, I hope this resonates. I'm excited to see what comes from you taking this action. This is a wonderful, I hope, encouraging message for you today. And don't forget to jump to the end of the video where you will find your one card pull bonus reading for the second half of July. Hello, Capricorn. Welcome to your reading for the second half of July. Let's jump right in and ask, what should your focus be? You have the King of Wands. And what's blocking you from embracing this focus? We have the Four of Pentacles. All right, Capricorn. So your focus for the second half of July is the King of Wands. This is a wonderful card of action, of capability, of consistency. There is the saying that comes with the King of Wands, it's a man who talks the talk and walks the walk. It's promises good things and then executes them. You are fully capable. It is absolutely a card of being capable. And this is the energy that you should be embracing, is confidence and and following through on the promises that you're making. There's action sitting here. And it seems like the blocking energy here that we see with the Four of Pentacles, or block, that is stopping you from embracing the King of Wands energy. With the Four of Pentacles, we have a sense of extreme control and focus on the material world. And so I wonder if you are maybe stopping yourself from truly experiencing the leadership that sits here within the King of Wands, because you're a little too worried about maybe letting people in, letting people see the real you, letting people truly seeing how capable you are and then depending on you, right? Because with the King of Wands comes leadership, comes maturity, there's influence here. And I wonder if you are clinging a little too tightly to the things that you maybe feel like you need in order to feel secure. So finances, your home, maybe the people around you, your family, your spouse. Like, you may be clinging a little too tightly to these things, Capricorn, because the Four of Pentacles is an invitation for you to release a little bit. There's a bit of intense control that exists within the energy of the Four of Pentacles. And so what you need to do in order to truly fall into the charisma that sits within the King of Wands energy and be that leader is relinquish a bit of this control. Maybe delegate a little bit. Lean on the people around you. And if that in itself still feels like it's too big of a step, maybe it's just recognizing that you can release a bit of the value that you place on some of these things. And so, Capricorn, let's take a look and see what action cards we can pull for you on what action should you be taking today, in the next few weeks, doesn't have to be today, in order to embrace this King of Wands energy. We have summer and snow. Wow. Okay, we have incredible balance sitting here. So what we see, Capricorn, here with summer is summer in itself, this card represents balance. And it's interesting because snow in itself also represents balance. And so when we look at the way that you can embrace this King of Wands energy through the energy of summer, summer is all about light. It's about connecting with the people around you. It's about harvesting everything that you've worked so hard to achieve, longer days, shorter nights, but it's also about making sure that you are maintaining the things that you have grown, the things that you have achieved, because if you leave them unattended, they will take off and expand without control. And so this is actually an invitation that as you're reevaluating your Four of Pentacles energy, don't go to the extreme and relinquish all control. That there's a reason that you are able to embody this King of Wands energy here, and it's because you have worked within this Four of Pentacles energy for so long. The reason you're able to embody that charismatic leader that sits within the energy of the King of Wands. And just what summer is telling us here is make sure that you don't go too far to the other end of the spectrum and let go of too much control. We're just slowly releasing a little bit of it, or releasing our value of these materialistic structures or the security that sits there, in order to fall into the natural charisma that you have and as that leader. And snow shows a different sense of balance. Snow is, think of a peaceful, lovely snowstorm, right? When you have snow falling peacefully, it's not disrupting your life. You don't have anywhere to go. It is such a calm and cozy space. It provides a lot of nourishment for the soil. It hydrates everything. It's a wonderful experience to be in a peaceful snowstorm where you're able to rest. But the flip side of snow is it also carries danger. There's a lot of destruction that can sit within a very powerful snowstorm. And there's caution that exists there. So snow in itself is almost like a double-edged sword. You need balance when snow shows up. You need to make sure that you are reflecting on both what serves you and what you can release. So it seems like as you are embracing this King of Wands energy, where you are going into this charismatic leadership position, make sure that you are both finding balance in the way that you are maintaining your achievements, but also finding balance in the way that you reflect upon what you have achieved. His snow is a beautiful invitation for reflection, simply because when snow appears, you're stuck. Whether it's a peaceful snowstorm or a big crazy snowstorm, when snow appears, you are stuck. You must rest. It forces you to stop. So allow that reflection to have its place here as you embrace this King of Wands energy, which is such a big card of action. So snow in itself provides that balance there as well. All right. Okay, Capricorn, let's take a look. What sits for you within this King of Wands energy? And there's love, there's acceptance, there's community, there's partnership. All right. Wonderful motivation there. And it's when we have forgiveness reversed, it shows that there's an opportunity for you to forgive. So there may be somebody that you need to forgive. You need to let go of some resentment maybe that you're holding on to. That also could be something that you need to let go of sits within the Four of Pentacles energy. Because it's no longer serving you and it doesn't have a role within this beautiful space that you're creating. So with this balance that you have coming in, there's an opportunity for forgiveness as well. All right, Capricorn, I hope this resonates and finds you in a good space. Don't forget to jump to the end of the video where you will find your bonus card for the second half of July. Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to your reading for the second half of July. Thank you so much for being here. And let's jump right in and ask the question, what should your focus be? We have the World reversed. What's blocking you from embracing this focus? We have the Six of Cups. All right, Aquarius, so what we see here with the World reversed is it shows us that we're nearing the end of a cycle. We're nearing the end of something that is about to come to a close. It has not completed yet, but we're getting closer to it. And this is a card that shows reflection. And when the World is reversed, it tells us that you may be having some regrets. You may be worrying a bit about some actions that you took and having some regrets overall. And so it seems like the focus here is let's take a look at some of these regrets. Let's take a look in the next few weeks and ponder these regrets and wonder the impact that they will have. This should be your focus going forward. And the block that is stopping you from taking a true, honest look as we come to the end of this cycle is the Six of Cups. And the Six of Cups is a card of innocence, of your inner child. And I wonder if what is stopping you and what is stopping you from truly seeing and reflecting upon this end of the cycle that you're nearing, and what's leading to a lot of this regret. It seems like maybe you are regretting the innocence that you had. It feels like you may have actually been innocent in this situation, and the regret that you're carrying may not be your own. It does feel like the regret that you are shouldering right now, the worry that you are holding, the guilt that you may be feeling, it seems like it actually may not be something that you need to carry alone. It seems like it may not be your burden. Because if this innocence that you did have throughout this experience, this is simply an opportunity for you to grow. But if you sit within the regret of the situation and recognize, hey, you just didn't know any better. You were new in this experience. This is a new experience for you. You weren't supposed to have it all figured out, is what's coming through. You need to recognize that, the truth here, in order to truly reflect and move on. And so let's get a bit more information about this regret. Okay, we have time. And soil. All right. So Aquarius, with time, this is an invitation for you to be present and to really check in mind, body, and spirit. Time allows us to have that reflection and be aware of your state of mind. And not judge your feelings that come up. It seems like there's so much judgment sitting here within the innocence that you experienced and the innocence that you had. You're no longer this innocent person that is moving forward in this situation. You have learned so much. But if you continue to judge yourself, you won't be able to embrace the wisdom that you've learned. And time is this really wonderful invitation for you to bring self-awareness into the situation without judgment. And we see here with soil, we're looking at stability, consistency, simplicity. Don't overthink it. Soil tells us not to overthink this whole situation. So much of this is something that you've been spinning over in your mind, and it seems like you are creating a bigger issue than there actually is. Judging yourself for not knowing or not knowing better in a situation in the past is not going to help you learn those lessons and move forward. Not at all. All right, Aquarius, let's see what sits for you on the other side. As we're going into change here, what sits for you on the other side of this change as this cycle ends? Joy. What else is waiting for you on the other side here of this change? You'll be able to really evaluate this lack of trust that you have. You have trust reversed. We're going to do one more. And you'll be able to address some tension. It seems like the regret that you may be feeling, any worry that you're having of it impacting other people, you will absolutely have the opportunity to address that. The wasp is a symbol of there may be tension, there may be some anger involved. It does normally tie to a relationship or a friendship. And so this will actually, if you have that time of self-reflection, where you're able to embrace the energy of time and soil, then and be kind to yourself through this process and not judge your feelings, then you'll be able to handle this confrontation that is coming up in a much more peaceful way, where you are able to shift out of this lack of trust for yourself, fall into the joy that exists within your accomplishments, and truly be present. Right, and self-aware within this confrontation that feels like it really does need to happen. And I'm going to throw just one more. Let me just get a bit more information about this confrontation. We have lavender. Yeah, it will be fine. It seems as if this confrontation that is coming up, it may trigger you, it may stir up some old feelings, it may be a little complicated and sticky, but if you approach it with kindness and with self-care, lavender is all about self-care and being kind to yourself, and again, not judging yourself and not judging the feelings that come up. Make sure you're also giving that to this other person. Don't judge the other person coming in and saying, you hurt me with this, or this was hard. Don't judge their feelings or their struggles either. Give them the gift of the energy of lavender, which is so full of tranquility and peace and solitude, peace within solitude. It's a beautiful card of self-care. So again, Aquarius, stop judging yourself for not knowing better. You were truly innocent. You've learned more now. Get out of that negative spiral. Don't blame yourself for this. Become self-aware. Be kind and don't judge the feelings when they come up. And then you can fall into joy and be more prepared when that confrontation does come up for you down the road. All right. I love this reading for you all, Aquarius. Thank you for being here. I hope this finds you in a good space. And don't forget to jump to the end of the video where you will get a bonus reading with this wonderful Green Witch deck that we have here to give you a bit more information about what's coming in the last few weeks of July. Hello, Pisces. Welcome to your reading for the second half of July. Today we're asking the question is, what should your focus be in the next few weeks? And we have the Eight of Wands reversed. And what is blocking you from embracing this energy? The Lovers. All right. Okay, Pisces. So the focus that you're invited to look at in the next few weeks is the Eight of Wands reversed. Now, the Eight of Wands reversed tells us that there may have been a delay. There may be something that is slowing you down right now. There may be something that isn't taking off the way that you had maybe hoped or maybe planned. And the block that is stopping this from happening is we have the Lovers. And the Lovers is all about unification. It's all about partnership. It's coming together with your person. And so this being your block, it's interesting because I wonder if maybe you are so focused. One aspect of the Lovers is you can kind of have tunnel vision in a sense. You can kind of just be so focused in on your partner, on your relationship, on your partnership, that you kind of don't look around and see everything else going on, right? And so I wonder if you just are a little too zoomed in right now and not able to really see the opportunities that are awaiting around you, and then things will flow a bit more easily. And it seems like this focus actually feels like it'll come quite easily for you. The Lovers is a card of it. It naturally feels good to focus in on this. It seems like this, what is your attention is being called to this month, Pisces, is kind of reevaluating in order for things to take off faster. It almost seems like it's also okay that things are maybe not happening as fast as you wanted it to. This, the symbol of the Eight of Wands being all connected to speed. What I'm getting here is it's okay if it's not going too fast. And if you really do want things to pick up more quickly in whatever area of life that's coming to mind right now, then zoom out a little bit. Don't focus too much on home and the relationship that you have. It feels like that's okay. And allow yourself to kind of open your eyes and look around a bit more and see what opportunities are waiting for you. And so let's see, what action should you be taking as we look at the speed that you may be yearning for, the rapidness. Let's see. What action should we be taking? Okay, wonderful. We have Altar and Rain. Okay. So the Altar is actually an invitation for you to express gratitude and to release burdens to spirit. This is an invitation for you to connect with your spirituality. And so if you are looking for things to take off, to move quickly, for that rapidness to come in, you actually first need to slow down and connect with your spirituality. And you can do this within your partnership. If you are so happy here within the Lovers, with the energy of the Lovers, bring that spirituality, build an altar together. Talk about what you are grateful for, right? Express that gratitude. Don't take that for granted. And express your frustrations as well. Don't leave them unsaid. The altar is a space where you are able to express the frustration that you're experiencing. Talk about the things that may not be working as well. Talk about the lack of takeoff, right? The things that you were hoping would happen faster. Then speak that into existence and release it. By speaking it, we release so much of the burden that weighs on our shoulders. And Rain actually it just partners so well with the concept of the altar, because Rain is also an invitation for self-reflection. And what you should be focusing on when you reflect with the focus of Rain is what needs to be purified. What do I need to let go of? What is possibly burdening me that needs a bit of a refresh, right? And it seems like there may be energy here that is no longer serving you, and that may be what's bogging you down and not allowing the synchronicity to happen. And so it's almost like, because Pisces, what I'm picking up on here is it seems like this thing that you've been pushing for, the speed that you've been anticipating, that is all of a sudden slowing down, that may not be happening as fast as you wanted to, or isn't taking off the way you wanted it to. You've been focusing on it for so long. And there's a lot of overwhelm here. And Rain is an invitation to let what is overwhelming you wash away. Let that just wash away. And you do that through connecting with an altar, focus on what you're grateful for. You don't actually need to build a physical altar. You can if you're called to. But by focusing on what you're grateful for, releasing the burden and things that are frustrating you, and washing away what is overwhelming you and allowing that purification to come into this dynamic here, where you can kind of have that reset that's needed. And then it feels like things will take off the way that you need to. And whether you're leaning further into the energy of the Lovers, or you're taking a step back, and it doesn't feel like there's any change coming up within your romantic world. It could just be that you need to kind of shift around the way your day is laid out, right? If you are so focused in on your partner, you may need to step back for a second and say, look, I need to go spend some time on work, or I need to go spend some time with my family. I'll be back, right? Like, you may just need to have that open, honest conversation, but bring your partner or your whoever that closest connection is that's coming up for you right now in on this process of connecting with the altar and allowing that purification, that reset to happen. They can absolutely be a part of that reset. You don't need to do that on your own. And if you aren't in a partnership, this could be with a close friend, this could be with a sibling, this could be a conversation you have with your dog, right? Like, this doesn't have to be something that you do alone. And if it is something you do alone, then do it with so much self-care and so much grace for yourself, because this is such a big moment of growth for you. And let's see what is going to be a part of this process. Birth, rebirth. Guys, okay, I've thrown this card like 4 times on all of these readings. There's so much change going on for you all. Birth, rebirth is coming up for you. A shift into a new cycle. And you can let go of this fear, right? We have fear reversed. You can let go of the fear that this may never take off. You can absolutely let go of that fear that it can never take off. Maybe that's what needs to be washed away. Maybe that's what needs to be truly let go of. All right, Pisces, I hope this resonates, and thank you so much for being here today. Stick around for our bonus reading with the Green Witch deck that is coming up just after this. So enjoy the rest of your month of July, and I will see you next time. Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to your bonus reading for the second half of July. We're just going to run through this really quickly. And this is my Green Witch deck. I absolutely love this deck, and I hope you've been enjoying it so far. And I'm going to throw a single card for all of you, just as what additional information and energy do we need in order to truly grow and find happiness and feel fulfilled within the next few weeks as we go into the second half of July. All right, so Aries, we have Mortar and Pestle, integration, subtlety, and thoroughness. Taurus, moss agate, positivity and change. All right, Gemini, hedge, potential, boundaries, and indecision. Cancer, rain, cleansing, purification, hydration. All right, Leo, altar, gratitude, and releasing burdens. Virgo, broom, energy clearing, freshening. Libra, harvest, determination, and hard work. Scorpio, soil, stability, and simplicity. And we're going to have to move these guys up, make some room. Sagittarius, lavender, tranquility, kindness, and self-care. Yeah, we're going to have to... These cards are bigger than my last ones. That'll kind of work. Okay. And we have Capricorn, oak tree, power, courage, and strength. Aquarius, rosemary, remembrance, loyalty, and faithfulness. And Pisces, roots, healthy patterns, early growth. Okay. All right, everyone. So thank you so much for being here today. I hope you enjoyed your reading for the second half of July. And make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you can join me for future readings. And also I have my weekly live stream where I provide free readings for anyone who leaves a question live during the live stream every Monday at 11 a.m. Pacific time. And otherwise you can find me for a private reading over at one2listen.com. And thanks so much for being here, everyone. I will see you in the next video.